The Longsword is the most fun weapon in Chivalry 2. I absolutely love it, and it's one of the best as well. So in today's video, I have a bunch of narrated games using it. Make sure to check the timestamps in case it's a game you're not really feeling, but these are some of the best Longsword games you're ever going to see. Let's get into it. Today in Chivalry 2, I was a one-man army, until I wasn't. What is going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and today we have the highest kill longsword game we've ever had on the channel. However, the game did end in heartbreak, that's all I'll say. Stick around to see what happened. But let's get into our narrative gameplay and relaxing commentary while we have our highest kill longsword game ever on the channel while we defend Darkforest. Let's get into it. This game we're playing with some friends from a little bit ago, and we're also playing against Ashmaker, who, this is before I had him on my friends list. So Ashmaker, if you're watching, shout out you. But if you would like to get some games in, join the Unyielding Discord. It's in the pinned comment. It's the largest Chivalry 2 community, and we always got groups going right now. I'm not sure how much longer Chivalry 2 has left, but the Unyielding aims to be here much longer than Chivalry 2. So just join up for a fun community. We got other melee slashers on the way. I'm excited to see where this channel and the Discord goes. If you have any requests for games you'd like to see me cover, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to bring the best possible content to you guys. They're having all kinds of trouble trying to break through the barricades, which is usually an objective done in 2 seconds, which definitely helped us for our kills because the game going longer is always a good thing, especially when it's Darkforest. You love to see Darkforest go a long time. But we're off to a very hot start, as you can see. Nothing wrong with trash talking competition, but there's also nothing wrong with if you're going to put a target on your back by laughing at me pointing it out. So he's going to laugh and then be put down like a dog after barely putting up a fight. It's all in good fun though. I know in particular on the Doomhand video that blew up when me and him went at each other for a whole game, there were comments where people think that I'm up at night cursing people's existence that teabag me. I promise you I'm not, but if you're going to do it to me in a video and I kill you, I'm going to point it out. We are behind enemy lines here. I don't know how I haven't been killed yet. It's just they don't see me exactly. The spawn wave kind of was a little bit ahead of me. We're going to make the mistake of attacking someone here and get swarmed. What I should have done is just kept running, and then I probably would have survived. Check out the footwork here. I mean, it's on point. We actually survived for quite a while because of it. Check this out. A lot of times if you're going back and forth riposting, countering, if you don't do it once, even just half a second, like right here, he's so used to that his timing is completely thrown off and it opens him up for an attack. It'll even work against experienced players sometimes in these public lobbies when people are on autopilot, just expecting an automatic counter all the time. We throw ourselves into yet another 1vx behind enemy lines, but you'll never guess what happens next. The aggression I'm showing with the longsword is not really that good. You do not want to be this far up. You want to be supporting your team almost like a spear. However, I'm just so locked in and in the zone that it seems to be working anyway and getting a lot of kills, leading to a lot of deaths. But again, this is not the optimal way to be playing the longsword. Pretty funny here as we die just about the same exact way, 2 lives in a row. A really long hold on the gatehouse. Again, to have a high kill game like this, you also need the game to go on a very long time, and the game, it did. Darkforest is really good for long games. If you didn't know, Darkforest and Fallmire are the 2 maps that go much longer than the other ones. Now it's time to stop the convoy, and we are once again getting way too aggressive and way too deep, but you'll never guess what happens next. And how could I forget our very good dear friend K Money joined the game? He is here now. Every time I play with K Money, his fat ass is eating wings through the mic, but we love him anyway. He's a great guy. He's also a channel member, so if you'd like to support me with a channel membership for the Shawnee PC Fund, that is in the description. Our channel members are Grundle Stomper, Llama, Big Bro, Smile Kitchen, CK Buherd, Nah, Kronos, Logic Bomb, Massive Eggplant, and Thompson Clan. And of course, the aforementioned fat ass K Money. Thank you to my channel members. I appreciate all you guys, but especially them. Back to the video. So despite how great the game ended up in the end, we're going to go on a nightmare sequence where we die a ton and the aggression catches up to us. I'm going to let this speak for itself, but this is one of the most brutal stretches we've had in the channel's history. I'm going to heal right here. And now I'm starting to realize, you know what? That's enough times dying and not helping anybody, the team, myself, nobody. We're going to slow things down. We're going to back up. We're going to heal. We're going to refocus our positioning and try and get that under control, because that was ridiculous. So as expected, the barricades phase ends very quickly, and now it's time to defend the gate. And we have nearly 60 kills already. It's been a monster game. And like I said, this one is going to end in heartbreak. That's all I'll say. Stay tuned, but it's not going to be pretty. Here I brutally miss a stab that was just a layup, and it's going to cost me here as the guy with the quarterstaff takes us down. Great kill by him. For whatever reason, my 1vxing was on point, but not my 1 versus 1s in this one. So at the very last second, we are passed for first place on the leaderboard. And if you're first on the leaderboard, if you didn't know, you have the option to pass the VIP to the next person. So that's what that person did. So now we are going to be trying to stay alive as the heir. I'm indifferent on playing VIP or not playing VIP, but I think it made for more exciting content to be able to play it in this one. So let me know what you guys think, if I should accept this more often. I know people like the Thaic one, for example, always accepting that one. As we wait for enemies to arrive, I would like to ask, if you've enjoyed the video at this point, please consider giving it a like, join the Discord if you want to get games in, and subscribing for future content. Now this game is going to end in heartbreak, is all I'll say. Let's start the final stage. So a very winnable game. We lose because I got way too aggressive. My heart was in the right place. I thought it was working. It seemed to be working, but in the end, the aggression did cost us, like it did in the second half of the game, quite honestly, too, as we started to slow down. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. In today's Chivalry 2 gameplay, we are going to be going hard on the objective to play for the win, using the Longsword on the Siege of Rudhelm. What is going on, guys? It's Sean Salami, and today we just dominated this Rudhelm, so we're going to be doing that alongside a relaxing commentary. And I'm also going to be leaving my comfort zone throughout the video. We'll try a few new things, because this comment got a lot of attention in the last video when I said that I think I talk too much in the videos, that you guys are much more interested in me than I thought. I always thought it was all about the gameplay, but apparently you guys like me, so I'm happy to answer some questions. And I'll tell a life story. Stay tuned for that, but for now, let's get into some gameplay. We're going to be playing with Smile Kitchen. His Twitch and YouTube are in the pinned comment. He's one of my best friends in this game. He's a content creator. He streams during the days over on Twitch, so check him out. Let's get into it. A little bit of internet issues here with my Zimbabwe-ass internet connection. This is something that's definitely a struggle because I would like to stream for you guys, for example. I think it would be so cool to get games in with you, but we can't do that because of my internet. It's pretty tough at this apartment. I have like 3 roommates, so it can be pretty brutal at times, and it depends on them. I've even disconnected from games when I've been on like 100 kill pace and stuff, so it can be pretty brutal. So like I said, the theme of this video is going to be going hard for the objective. And you know why? Because look at this timer. The time is ticking. It's already been like a minute or two, and the towers have barely moved. So the reason we played the objective is because we had to. Good shit by Smile here, who is improving every time I play with him. What a beast. As we head to stage number 2, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about why I have an ungodly amount of playtime in this game. And it's something I got into in the infamous Doomhand video that was one of the most viewed Chivalry 2 videos ever, but in case you missed that, let's get into it real quick right here. My entire adult life, I did work until like very recently, a little bit after Chivalry 2 came out a few years ago. This was about 3 years ago, so a little bit into Chivalry 2's lifespan. I had an incident where I detached my retina, so that's a very brutal eye injury that made me not really able to work for a little bit, and there's a little bit of circumstances around how it happened that gave me a bit of trauma, so I got like agoraphobia, right? And what that means is I am pretty afraid of leaving the house. So it has me in a weird spot where I am used to being a very social person my whole life, but now I'm kind of feel just safe being just in my room at home. So a lot of my real life friends aren't very understanding of this. They kind of drifted from me, and Chivalry 2 is where I made a lot of friends already from just when I was working overnights. I got pretty involved in the community. And now that's a lot of what my interaction is with people day to day, is just voice chatting with the viewers, you guys, all my friends. And yeah, it may sound a little sad, and I do hope it does change at some point as I continue to work on it. But at the same time, I wasn't dealt the same hand a lot of people are, because like it was a pretty fucked up thing to happen to me. that not a lot of people deal with. So, and by the way, I don't plan on having heavy conversations like this every video, or maybe even ever again, depends on how you guys respond to this, but this is something I think a lot of people wonder why I'm just always in this goddamn game. So I figured that would be a good thing to break the ice while we leave our comfort zone, and I could explain that. But yeah, back to the gameplay. The best attack on the Longsword, and it's one of the best attacks in all of Chivalry 2, is the light stab, and I'm not using it enough here, and it's going to get me killed, because that should be what I do here. I don't, and Daddy Doofin is going to get the kill, so good work by him. Fighting a longsword and a Danax is a nightmare scenario, and two of the worst weapons you want to be fighting when you're 1vxing. Let's see if we can take him down, though. Nope. So a great job by me, Smile, and the team to hold the gatehouse. Now it's time for the burn the tents phase, and that's an automatic win. So we're just going to go pad our stats by killing a bunch of stragglers, get some people from behind, and we're going to go back to the battlefield. My ping usually gets me killed, but here it's going to completely save me. Check this out. Pretty funny. Being in the center here aimlessly is a pretty dumb idea, and you'll never guess what happens next. Let's get to a question. So, Melem Zemar, I hope I said that right, asks, will I ever do a face reveal? I absolutely can do that. I've done it before in the Unyielding Discord, so here's one image I've sent in there. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong one. This is me right here holding the sword that Billy Witch Doctor in the Unyielding Discord mailed to me for my birthday last year. The Unyielding Discord is the best thing to come out of content creation, so this is also doubling as a plug for that. Check it out, it's in the description. That 10 seconds was the most editing I've ever done in a Chivalry 2 video, so let's let this breathe for a little bit while we try and push these siege ramps that are just not being moved at all right now. We're having all kinds of trouble attacking. The clock is ticking, and we just got a metric fuck ton of kills, so we're going to try and push this siege ramp and see how far we can get it to the objective. Pushing the siege ramp that far puts all kind of pressure on them to be able to start pushing that other one up further now, because obviously they have to go stop us from getting that one to the end. That was all the difference in the world, because before that, there was just not enough time to push it. Me and Samara really saved the day on that one, and now we're trying to just inch our way towards the courtyard. This is going to be extremely close. With seconds to spare, we are able to push the siege ramps, and now it's time to capture the courtyard. Now, this is where these games go to die. So, like, Rudhelm, the most likely place they're going to stop you if it's not that first gatehouse is this courtyard. This is going to be the hardest objective to push. So again, we are pushing for the win in this one. It's been a lot of fun playing for the objective again. I would like to ask, as we wrap up this video, to try and capture this courtyard. So please like the video if you're enjoying it, and submit any questions you would like me to answer in some upcoming videos, and subscribing for future content, and checking out the Discord in the description. And of course, don't forget to check out Smile Kitchen on Twitch and YouTube. That's going to be in the pinned comment. See if we can capture this courtyard and get a win. So how about that? Playing the objective pays off. We are able to get a win, as well as 69 kills, nice, 140 takedowns, 22 deaths. That's kind of a lot, but that's okay when you have that many takedowns. And I love you guys. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one. In today's Chivalry 2 video, I played like an absolute moron, but somehow it seemed to work. What is going on, guys? It's Sean and Salami, and today on this Desecration of Galencourt game, we had pretty bad positioning. However, mechanically, my gameplay was on point, and I was destroying people despite dying so much. But sometimes turning your brain off, voice chatting with the fellas, and just stomping a lobby together is what it's all about, right? So this is going to be a longsword game with tons of 1vx's and just outnumbered fights that you're going to see pretty much throughout the entire game. Let's get into it. We'll have our relaxing commentary and narration as we go. To start off, we're going to be playing with longtime supporter Billy Witch Doctor. We'll also be playing with Megan and fellow content creator Smile Kitchen. I will have his Twitch in the pinned comment. He's a very, very good streamer. It was pretty funny. I said in the beginning of this match, guys, I'm calling it right here. I'm going to go deathless because I've noticed I've never recorded a Galencourt deathless game. And then I died pretty much instantly after that. It's times like that I wish the voice chat was recorded for the games. You'll end up seeing that this match went an extremely long time for a Galencourt, but on this first stage, the Masons did a good job of all attacking as a team on this right fortification, and we captured it pretty quickly. It's pretty interesting to see because usually people trickle in on either side, and nothing gets done until the timer nearly runs out. But now it's time to disable the ships. We're time traveling a little bit here because I noticed my friend Rangers Knight has joined the game, so I shot him a message on Instagram. I met him through Hockey Twitter. It's basically a part of Twitter where we only tweet about hockey and the New York Rangers. And for everything that the Chivalry 2 community is great at, Rangers Twitter was the worst at. If you ever want to simultaneously feel great about yourself, but also worry about the state of the human race, go on Rangers Twitter. It's a god-awful cesspool. So while the whole subject of the video is really bad positioning, this time I did position smartly. I don't want to be out in the open and give an archer a free kill. That's where that comes from. So motivated by pure spite to not give him a kill, we stay under cover and wait until there's a safe time to move. So all in all, we are dying a lot, but we're getting a lot of kills. But this next stretch, this is pretty rough. We're going to die a lot and not make much of an impact on the game at all. This is more of what you're going to be seeing for the rest of the match, is these kind of outnumbered fights where I'm just in way too deep. The last video I uploaded was kind of similar to this when it was on Darkforest. It was a better game than this one, if you go by the stats. And this one was on attack, so you'd think I'd get away with this more, but again, it's too much aggression, just too much brain rot going on, not paying enough attention to where I should be and where everyone else is. This was pretty funny. Check this out. God damn. So now that we've blown up the ships and it's time to place the explosives, this is one of the more interesting objectives because it says back-to-back meat grinders when you have to place them and destroy the gates. And this is where the longsword, using this, is going to cost me even more because I'm not playing it correctly. I'm not stabbing in between teammates. I'm just going to keep rushing in like a madman, like I have a war axe or something. And it's going to cost me, as you're going to see. This is a pretty dumb time to front line like this, and we still have a whole minute and a half to get the explosive, so that's not even really the reason I'm pushing up like this. But it's not smart to do this, but the speed of the longsword keeps us alive, even though if we had something like a messer, we would probably kill even more of these people. It certainly makes it easier when they're not even looking at you most of the time. So last life we were getting a bunch of kills and we were getting away with fighting the longsword incorrectly because of how fast it is, but this is, again, you're just going to get killed if you rush in behind the team and front line with it. It's not how you want to be playing this weapon. I had a lot of fun in this match, but again, not ideal at all, and this is not a good video for the tips and tricks, especially on positioning, but I do think it makes for an entertaining watch. So this brutal brain rot going on, just too much aggression, but hey, it seems to be working. Like, again, I'm cringing at some of this gameplay because I don't think this is technically the smart thing to be doing, but we already have 100 bombs, so doing something right? So now it's time to assault the church, and I would like to ask, as we head through these last two stages, that if you've liked the video to this point, to please consider giving it a like for the algorithm. Helps smaller YouTubers out like me a ton, and if you'd like to support me with a channel membership for the Shawnee PC Fund, that's going to be in the description. And if you'd like to join the Discord, get some games in with me or like-minded people, that will also be in the description because Smiley Kitchen's Twitch is in the pinned comment. Check him out for a good streamer. But let's see if we can assault the church and desecrate the tomb. So we do end up losing, and we also died a lot, but despite that, I did think this was a very fun game. 140 takedowns using the Longsword is great, and if you want to check out an even better Longsword game, one is on the screen now. Love you guys. See you in the next one. If you've ever wanted to see the Longsword played to perfection, you're going to love this match on Lionspire. What is going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and the Longsword is my favorite weapon in Chivalry 2. However, I don't always play it the ideal way. A lot of the time, I'll play very recklessly, letting my content creator ego give me too much confidence in my ability to fight well when outnumbered. But in this match, we played more calm, cool, and collected, picking our fights intelligently, target switching well, and using its best attack, the light stab, first and foremost. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we have a rampage on Lionspire in one of our best longsword games of all time. We'll have our relaxing commentary along the way. Let's get into it. Pay attention here. This archer is a long way away. You may be tricked into thinking that if you walk all the way over there, he's going to be dead already, but not the case. You can always pad your stats and, more importantly, help out your teammate, and even more importantly than that, get a nice juicy archer kill, which is basically 5 kills. So a little bit of a slow start in this one, but we're trying to pick off some people by themselves that are just in bad situations. Time to go ahead for a bandage crate after getting a few hits here, and it looks like I just got stuck on this bush while I was looking at my phone or something. Pretty funny. We're in a tough spot here where we're a little outnumbered and there's people behind us also in a fight. But check this out. You could always turn around and just start hitting that guy, free up your teammates, and now they can help you in the fight you're in. This is the stuff in group fights you should always be thinking about, is if someone's back is turned to you and they're not paying attention, you could always get a free hit on them. So now on to stage number 2, where I have not died yet, so we're starting to think about a deathless, and if that's a possibility. As long as I don't get killed by a catapult or a ballista in this stage, I'm pretty confident I should be able to do it. Going back for another bandage crate, I don't know if I should be fast forwarding through these. It's such an unusual thing for me to look back at editing, because usually I just die, but lately I've been trying to focus on positioning better and just staying alive longer. This guy's using the kill the archer mode while not helping the archer, so you know what? I think that's a brilliant idea. I'm going to do the same thing. I love the open battlefields of like stage 1 and 2 of Lionspire, stage 1 of Rudhelm, things like that. So fun, but the other team's probably miserable because the catapult user is doing, you know, his typical bullshit, padding his stats while not really playing the game. And the other team is suffering for it, but we're in the ideal spot where we're just kind of using the flags to heal, pick off enemies that are overextending. Again, we're playing the Longsword the right way. I know it's not how I typically play, but this is the ideal way to play this weapon. no clue what's going on here. I do a double take, they look at me, what is that? I'm just gonna go let them do their thing. So listen and look closely as we actually are able to counter the sword swing, but we are going to get killed by a Danax throw. So disappointing. This is such an underwhelming way to see a 53 takedown streak end. The Lionspire Town Square is seriously S tier. It's got to be one of the best objectives in the game. I did a map ranking a while back, but my opinions have changed, and I definitely think I'm going to remake that video. If you guys are interested in a map ranking, let me know in the comments, because I'd definitely be down to remake that. These guys are emoting and I didn't mean to ruin that, so I start crouching at them to say sorry. This guy's not getting the message, so we're gonna have to put him down like a dog. In a situation like this where you're both downed and punching each other, punch the guy until he's dead, because if you start getting up like I do right here, you're going to get downed again and he's going to keep hitting you and you die. Now, it did work out in a weird way because I thought I should have hit him and I accidentally hit the rock or something, not really sure. But in a situation like that, like I said, just punch the guy until he's dead and then use the get up button. So at this point, we need to start thinking about the objective, which is usually a job for peasants and not level 1Ks or let alone world famous YouTubers, but we got to start getting in there. Easy work for a 1K like me, but you know, my hands do feel a little dirty after I had to actually play the game and not just pad my stats for my ego. If you made it this far in the video, please consider liking the video. It helps small YouTubers out like me a ton. Subscribing for my future content and joining the Discord if you'd like to get some games in. Channel memberships are also in the description if you'd like to support the Shawnee PC Fund. Let's see if we can destroy the trebuchets and get this win on Lionspire. So we didn't get the win, but we had a phenomenal game. Not the sweatiest lobby by any means. That's just how it's going with the Epic Games sale right now. But 140 takedowns, 70 kills, we take that. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. What is going on, guys? It's Sean Islami, and today we are going to be playing Raid on Aberfell with one of the best players in the game, MF Tinyrik, and we're also going to position much better than we have been recently. If you didn't know, positioning is the most important skill in Chivalry 2, bar none. And for me personally, it's a little bit of a weakness because content has broken my brain. I've gotten a lot better at this game since I've started making content, but positioning is kind of flatlined. The reason being is I think it's more fun for a viewer to watch someone be in the thick of it and be in the fight at all times, and for me personally, it's way more fun to play that way. But doing this leads to a lot of bad habits that I don't always put in the effort to break, so we're going to get that back on track in this match, where we use excellent positioning. Even if our kills and takedowns take a little bit of a hit, we're going to stay alive and go on some massive kill streaks. We'll have our relaxing commentary, some tips and tricks, and the funny moments, all of that along the way. Let's get into it. The reason I'm not getting a second bandage right away is because I want to help Tinyrik out now. If someone's in my party, I try and back them up and keep them alive. If it was just another random player over there, probably not. But when you see the friend icon, you want to help your boys out. So again, we're playing very passive here. We're just picking off people that are already in fights. We're not really staying too aggressive, and even there where we're in one up front, Tinyrik comes to help us out. But if you're the kind of player that plays for low deaths and going deathless, the number one thing you want to do is never take fair fights. So as we head to stage 2, neither of us have died yet. Tinyrik, Jesus Christ, already has 17 kills. So let's see how long both of us can stay alive. As I'm heading back to the bandage crate, someone throws me a health pack and I thank him, and that's going to lead to something in a little bit, you'll see.
Topple that tower! Use your powder tank! Force that tower in the name of our Lord! Tower down! Eggs at the base of the tower.
I see a default footman in trouble. This is the guy who healed me earlier. I want to back him up. Earlier, I said you don't want to take fair fights if you're trying to position smartly, and this is what I would consider an unfair fight. So it's not even a fair fight, it's just flat out unfair when you have one guy who just installed the game against two people. That's no judgment against him, by the way. Everyone starts sometime, everyone's new at some point. But now this is the real problem. In real time, I cannot tell if these were stabs or overheads because of how dark it was in here and because my back was up against the wall. So that does end the deathless bit for me, unfortunately, but I thought it made for a pretty cool moment backing up the footman inside the tower, so, you know, I'll live with that. This part I'm less happy about. So, because the deathless bit is over, I'm a little disappointed. Now positioning just goes out the window, and for some reason I just don't think at all. I'm in way too deep. There's not really much to it other than that I should not be that far up. We tried to back up a little bit that last few seconds there, but it was too late. We're going to get killed pretty easily. But let's see how we can get it back on track. First of all, we're going to not take the forward spawn. We're going to kill people that on the other team didn't take it either, and we're going to stick with our team. Kill some people that are outnumbered and hopeless. Just stab them in the back with the longsword. Easy kills while we continue to stage number 3. Tiny Rick still hasn't died, by the way. He's still on his deathless bit. This is pretty important even if it's very subtle. So see how I just got shot? So because archers are virgins and social rejects and just total losers in general, they're watching the game being played, they're not actually participating. So he can see that I'm going to the bandage cart. He's going to shoot me if I stay still and try and take a bandage. So that would have been an instant death. That's why we turn away from the bandage crate and go heal up by the flag instead. Because the flag I can move around even if it's just a few steps instead of staying completely still while I grab a bandage. So Tiny Rick has not died at this point, so now throughout the rest of this video, the priority is keeping him alive. We're going to get in a lot of moments where he's outnumbered and we're trying to fight for his life, because it seemed like people knew he was deathless and were rushing directly towards him to get rid of that deathless. So that's what you're going to see a lot at the top of the Pagan Stone's face. And I don't think he really even cared at this point, because he goes deathless like every few games, but I wanted to see it for him. I thought it would be cool. If you notice I'm checking the scoreboard so much, it's not only because of Tiny Rick going deathless, it's also I was having a lot of ping issues this weekend. So I do apologize if that was distracting, but I was trying to make sure my internet was okay and it wasn't like gonna spike up and disconnect me or anything. Something subtle here is we realize we're overextended, we're going to back up, get back with the team, and then push back up and get back into action where we have more of a chance to survive. I 9 times out of 10 just die and then respawn and walk back, but because I'm trying to build good habits, I run all the way back to the bandage cart to go reheal. It kind of feels like a waste of time, but again, good habits if you're trying to stay alive longer. Again, Tiny Rick is in trouble. We're going to go try and back him up and keep his deathless going.
I'm with you, brother. Spirit, I destroy the
Like, look at this. These people want him dead. You can't convince me otherwise that there was people that knew his deathless was on the line and they were trying to get rid of it. I plan on doing a whole video on targeting, but long story short, I think all of that is fair and good as long as you're doing it in melee. If someone can best him in a fight and take that deathless from him, that's all good. That should be respected. So as we enter the final stage to try and secure Tiny Rick's Deathless, this is the part of the video where I request that if you've enjoyed the video to this point, to please consider liking it and subscribing for my future content. And if you'd like to support the Shawnee PC Fund, channel memberships are in the pinned comment this time, and the Discord is in the description. Channel memberships are to support the Shawnee PC Fund. I canceled all of them a few weeks ago when I thought I wasn't doing Chivalry 2 content anymore. It just felt like the right thing to do. But now that I'm back at it, if you want to re-up your membership or if you wanted to support me with a donation, that's where that'll be. Right now, we have Llama, Big Bro, and the Grumpalist, I think is how you say it. So thank you for them for the channel memberships. Let's try and kill the heretics. We've gotten 59 takedowns in a row without dying, but you'll never guess what happens next. Wrong arm. So we do not get the win, but much more importantly, Tiny Rick did stay alive, going 107, 54, and 0. I mean, that's just another day at the office for players like him. Not the best game for us, but it is what it is. If you want to see a video where I interviewed Tiny Rick as part of the Player Spotlight series, it's on the screen now. Love you guys. See you in the next one.